When I first started looking into motorcycling, I thought I knew exactly what I was signing up for. To me, it was about the A to B commute, a way to save money and journey time to and from work. I thought it would be great to learn a new skill. I also thought it would be great to have a new hobby. And if I'm honest, as a petrol head, owning an electric car for many years now, I loved the speed of an electric car, but I missed everything that came with a combustion engine. The soundtrack, how every engine has a different personality, the gears, having to make quick decisions on when to shift up or when to shift down to grab the best torque out of a corner. But now, after spending more time riding, I've realised something far deeper and meaningful. Motorcycling wasn't what I expected. It turned out better than I expected. Because the biggest change wasn't my weekends, it was me. Now, for context, I came into motorcycling later in my life. Like a lot of people, I spent years prioritising other things that needed to be done. Working, paying bills, raising a family, supporting friends, supporting loved ones, being dependable, being available, being the person that says yes when somebody needs help. And I don't regret any of that, not for a second. But somewhere along the way, I forgot something. I forgot that constantly giving to others requires you to occasionally recharge yourself. I thought motorcycling would simply be another method of commuting and maybe an infrequent hobby. What I didn't realise was that it would become one of the few places where my brain finally goes quiet. Where the risks of riding a motorcycle test your anxiety, but once on it, relieves it. When riding a motorcycle, you can't be thinking about 20 different things at once. You can't be worrying about next week's meeting. You can't be replaying yesterday's conversation you wish you never had. You can't be scrolling social media and then regretting that time wasted. You have to be present. You have to be focused. The road, the conditions, the corners, the traffic, that machine underneath you. For a few hours, life becomes so simple. And I often find myself getting quite emotional about it. Because in today's world, life isn't simple. It can feel like I've always got to keep performing for someone else, just so I can be the one who supports them. And that's something that I wasn't expecting from motorcycling. I thought I'd enjoy riding, the thrill, but what I didn't expect was that the part that I'd enjoy the most was the peace. Another thing I wasn't expecting was the inner growth in confidence. Not confidence in a loud and arrogant way, just confidence that comes from learning something new. Because when you're older, it's easy to convince yourself you've become this finished version of who you are. You also get into the habit of sticking at what you're good at when you're experienced in something. You settle into routines, and without realising it, you stop stretching yourself. Then along comes something like motorcycling. Suddenly you're a beginner again. You're learning, you're making mistakes, you're nervous. But each time you go out, you're improving, you're developing new skills, you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And every little milestone reminds you that you didn't stop growth in your 20s, 30s or 40s plus. You're still just capable of becoming more than you were yesterday. And that is just a powerful reminder. I also wasn't expecting the community. Before I started, I assumed bikers were mostly keep to themselves. But what I found were groups of people who nod at complete strangers, who wave at each other, who stop to check if you're okay, who are happy to talk for 20 minutes at the roadside about bikes they've owned, roads they've ridden, and adventures they've been on. We even go to deeper conversations about life lessons and what they've taught us. There's something so healing about that. In a world where so many interactions are online, motorcycling still feels human, and I really value that. Therefore, the biggest surprise for me has been what motorcycling has taught me about life. Because riding reminds you of something important. You don't control everything. You can prepare, you can train, you can wear the right gear, you can make the smart decisions, but eventually you have to trust yourself and keep moving forward with focus. You have to commit, and you have to prep for the corner and sometimes adjust while in it. You have to plan a journey, but expect the journey to come with surprises. And it's funny because that is exactly how life is. At some point, analysis has to become action. At some point, preparation has to become movement. And at some point, you simply have to take a leap of faith. That's a lesson I've needed more than once. So don't get me wrong, I love bikes in other ways too. I still enjoy looking at them, researching them, watching videos about them, dreaming about future rides and bikes. I'm probably guilty of spending far too much time comparing motorcycles I'll probably never own. But what keeps me coming back isn't actually the machine. It's what it gives me. Time to think, time to reflect, time to reset, time to reconnect with myself, and time to just be grateful. Grateful for everything in my life I've built. Grateful and aware of the things I need to hold on to. So if you're watching this and you've been considering learning to ride, I won't tell you that motorcycling is for everyone, because it simply isn't. But I will say this. Sometimes the things we need most in life arrive disguised as something else. Sometimes what starts as curiosity becomes growth. Sometimes what starts as a hobby becomes therapy. And sometimes what starts as learning to ride a motorcycle for commuting purposes becomes learning a little bit more about yourself. Motorcycling wasn't what I expected. It turned out better. It reminded me that it's never too late to learn, never too late to grow, and never too late to do something purely because it makes you feel alive. I'll be taking my journey to my full license in 2 months' time, so keep watching to follow my progress. Take care of yourselves, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next video.